This podcast is brought to you by It Works. What is It Works? It's a Christian-based company that specializes in health and wellness with a variety of products with natural ingredients, including green supplements, keto support, daily skincare, and beauty products, and weight loss solutions. Best known for the Skinny Wrap, Slimming Gummies, and the Skinny Brew Coffee, which I can personally recommend and say it works. If you're looking for improved youthful looking skin, better digestive health, and a stronger immune system, weight loss with internal cleansing and body detoxification, and enhanced focus, mood, and energy, It Works can work for you. Go to ashleyperry.itworks.com and sign up now to become a loyal customer. Take the 90-day challenge and receive a 40% discount. Or, if you're interested in starting your side hustle, join now to become a distributor. Own your time and become a social media influencer working in your PJs right from your phone. Visit ashleyperry.itworks.com and watch It Works work for you today.
FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Courtney.
And I am Stephanie Williams.
This is the Indu Podcast, where morning drive time meets late night talk show as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from the south side of Wakanda and Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive. First of all, hey, Steph, welcome back to the Indu Podcast.
Hey, I'm so happy to be back. I know. It's like... visiting with family for the weekend. So I'm happy to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I realized, you and I, we communicate. I try to make it at least once a month because you are a real one, a real friend, not just, a podcast sister, but you are. And I'm like, hey, it's about time you come back on the podcast because, you have to make your annual appearance. So here you are. And we'll make a note of it just to make sure you come back next year. Not necessarily around this time, but, whenever you feel like, hey, I feel like chatting,
Next year is literally like, 2 months away? I'm sorry. I apologize.
And that's it for Steph. It's so nice you got to visit with us.
There she is walking out the door. All right.
It was great to have her. Yeah. Anyway, Steph. First, Courtney, how are you doing? How are you?
I am good. I'm hanging in there. How are you?
I am also good. I was about to throw a spookums on you real quick. You know what? Might as well.
What?
Really quick. Hold on.
I didn't sign up for this. Hang on. What?
Hold on. There we go.
Gosh.
So in preparation, just, making sure I had everything together, I decided just to take a quick little look over at Twitter for a hot second. And I was like, does this count as breaking news? Not necessarily, but just the headline alone and then reading some pictures, this AR technology will make the ghosts who's haunting you actually appear in your room. And that was kind of enough for me not to really want to go further.
Oh, well, now I want to know. I want to know how this works. And is it real? Is it just a theory? Do we have some prototypes out there?
I'm happy to send you the link and you can, check it out for yourself. But some other people, based on just the trend of the topic or whatever, some people had some ghost who was, I guess his or her name is Dorian, 11 years old. And then they have a whole thing like, how did I die? And this particular ghost was abducted and murdered. Have you noticed me? And then you can hear me softly crying when the house is completely still and silent. There's a picture of said ghost, and there's only 3 examples that I've seen here so far on Twitter. One is, I guess the app may be called Ghost Detector, but it's from BuzzFeed. So put all that in as you like. The next one is Captain Wellington, who is, I guess, 66. And the caption reads, "Will you dance with me forever?" It's asked, "How did I die?" This particular character was strangled by a notorious truck stop serial killer. And then asked if you noticed me. I'm that shadowy figure standing outside your window. So the thing itself looks like it's a piece of meat. Somebody commented and said, well, it is named Wellington. So I'm like, yeah, I see it. And it's creepy and gross.
That
reminds me of a video game I recently was watching somebody do a playthrough of. I do not recall the name, but and I'm still watching a playthrough, but what is this guy's name? Markiplier, or whatever the heck, whatever his name is. Anyway, the game is about a haunted house, and you play as this little girl, and you just die continuously until you figure out how.
That almost sounds.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
awesome. But there's another game that I didn't play it. Like, the guy I was dating at the time, I watched him play it. But anyway, it's called Limbo, and you play as a little boy, and it's not really clear if you're dead or the story starts. You're trying to search for your little sister. It's missing or something. I think she's missing at this point of the game, and so you're in this like limbo area, just like wooded, you're in the forest or woods of some sort. And you have to go through these different obstacles to advance and to get closer, hopefully. But the obstacles are kind of like intellectual based. So it's almost like solving a puzzle while doing the obstacle. And so, you can't pull the lever here because the thing is, and like spear you. You have to pull the lever, and then you have to jump, and then you have to make sure you jump over the alligators or this giant spiders. It's like that sort of thing. And it's horrifying because you die if you don't figure out the puzzle or the obstacle, and you're like, again, playing as a small child. But the art style is like it's very creepy, but it's super beautiful. It's like black and white, and yeah. It's horrible though.
Stuff nightmares are made of. That's great.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, even what you were describing, Steph, that also sounds familiar. Like, I feel like I've heard this game being described elsewhere, but I listen to and watch and consume so many things. I don't think I could pinpoint who or where I heard that being talked about, but hooray, there's more things to creep you out. But I mean, 'tis the season, I suppose. So yeah. That wasn't what I was going to say or discuss as to how I'm feeling today and what's going on in my world. Because although I did want to tell a story that I felt like maybe I could try to work into Spookums, but I think I'm going to have to save it for next time. But for now, if you want to get a head start, or maybe I just might record it on my own and then maybe drop it into some kind of like, I don't know, Patreon or just somewhere else. But I'm going to hold on to that. But I will say what's on Patreon, and this is a subtle plug here, is my review for Dune, which also I won't bother Courtney for the breaking news, but it has just officially been announced that they're going to do the sequel. Big surprise. We're not surprised, but
we're not surprised at that.
No.
Yeah.
So, it would be a movie if they didn't have a sequel in the works.
But the review is there on Patreon, so go check that out. But as a matter of fact, maybe I'll just take a little break now just to say what I don't know, a sponsor, if you will. I'm putting that in quotes as if people can see it. It's an audio medium, but we shall be right back.
The Endu podcast.
So we're starting the Lovebirds podcast. What is that about? What is the Lovebirds blurred? I can't even say it. The Lovebirds podcast. What is that about?
It's about us.
Mm-hmm. And love.
And love.
And being a nerd.
And our nerdiness.
Mm-hmm. And basically watching TV shows and movies and talking about them and other things.
And about married life and
knucklehead kids, perhaps?
Some parenting things about, and stories about the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of sighing will probably happen too, just because just the thought of a kid. If you've got a 5-year-old or even a 6-year-old or a 4-year-old, basically in that age range, yeah. But also nerdy stuff too, like Marvel movies and TV shows and superhero stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Occasionally some books. I'll be talking about some books if I ever get the time to start reading again. That'd be nice.
Oh, of course, yes. And the occasional times I read books are what I consider reading books.
He doesn't read books. He has books read to him.
But I
audiobooks.
do consume them. They are consumed. It is considered read. Like, hey, you finished this book. So I read it. Anyway, all that on the Lovebirds podcast, which you can hear wherever you're listening to this probably. So do enjoy. And welcome back to the new podcast. It is time for our Black History fact because I didn't do one last week, so I'm making up for it. But we're going to do our Black History facts, plural.
Black History.
Black History. Black History. Black History.
Facts.
Yes, we have. Where are my notes? I've got 3 facts for you guys. Are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right. Do you know Viola Roberts Lampton? I'm sorry. Let me try that name again. Viola Roberts Lampkin Brown.
No.
That's fine.
No.
I mean, I didn't know her name either until like an hour ago. She is 110 years young.
Ooh, bless.
Yes, she is one of the few super centenarians, with her birthday being October 4th. So she joins a very elite class of people who are 110 years old or older. So probably just good clean living is probably what she answered of how she manages to stay so young. So, and then we're going to flip this
for her.
Yes. I mean, she's great. And then there was a picture I think I saw just smiling and being happy, just probably just telling stories and cooking sweet potato pies. So love it. And then on the flip side, we have Kendall Ray Johnson, who is the youngest certified farmer at 6 years old.
What?
Wow.
What?
That's
kind of amazing.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. What was I doing at 6? Spilling juice on myself.
And meanwhile, got a 6-year-old running around just like, why can't you be a farmer? But that's okay. He's training to be a Beyblade player, like a Beyblade champion. So he's on his own path as, just he's living his best life, which he had said to us as he ran down the hallway. This is the life. So he's happy. He's good. So
so he is really living his best life.
He really is. He truly is. And just, leaving rooms, a tornado disaster, but he's 6. So meanwhile.
And not a farmer
like Kendall, who now I had to continue to read this article to really understand what a certified farmer actually is. And that means that you have your own business, which she calls a grow culture. As in agriculture, but grow is in capital. The culture is spelled with a K because she's classy like that. And she can, oh man, do I still have the article itself? I just wrote notes and I'm like, there's some other details here. Like, oh, I did not know that either. That is very interesting. So that's not the article. And Sorry, I was getting some other things ready for later on in the show, and I completely skipped over the other details I'd like to share. But she's from Georgia, so she's part of other boards or Georgia farmers. So she's able to actually conduct business with. She was inspired by her great grandmother, who taught her how to farm, and she farms strawberries and okra. I don't eat okra, but good for her. I'm glad it's Georgia, so it feels like just a very Southern thing to do. And a few other things, carrots. I'm trying to see the other businesses that kind of go along with that, but being certified, like she's legit. Like she is making moves, and very happy for her and proud of her. And good job being the youngest.
That's kind of amazing. I guess it makes sense that farmers are certified, but it's not something I just actively think about. So I'm pretty impressed that she's there already at 6.
Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She's just adorable. I definitely will post the link. There's a little video attached. I did not watch it, but just her face is just like, oh, look at just precious.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to squash and zucchini. I'm trying to look here at else. Just joined a number of farming organizations, including Georgia Grown, which is part of the Department of Agriculture for Georgia, and the Georgia Farm Bureau. An official farmer, she can apply to grants, scholarships, and purchase land under her business. So she can just, make all the money right now at 6, maybe even 7. I don't know, but she's on her way. Now, my last fact for you for today is this week, October 30th, will be Daishiki Day. Do either of you have daishikis?
No.
I don't. I like them though.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. I love them, but I do not have one, sadly.
It is National Daishiki Day. I don't know exactly when it started. It's been at least since 2017. That's the oldest article I can find about it. But if you have one, that's when you wear it. You just go to the store, you do whatever you do. Just, be proud in your Blackness. And there's whatever article I was reading had the history, how it started back in the 60s and 70s, people wearing daishikis to just, pro-African culture and loved it. So I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. And you can check the hashtag. I think it's hashtag Daishiki Day, and see other people wearing their proud and beautiful colors. I think what we did for our wedding for Ashley and I think our styles are considered daishiki. It's just they weren't daishiki, but the colors and the design. So I guess I could wear my vest, I suppose. I don't know. And thank you again, both of you, for being there in digital form at
Absolutely.
the wedding. So
Thank you for the invite.
yes. Well, I thank you so much, and for the gifts too, because they were much appreciated. So I thank you. And again, any listener out there that has donated or gifted us, we still have yet to do any official thank you cards. We're working on it. It's on our list. It's on the board that my magic mystery board of things to do that may or may not be shown.
Right next to the conspiracy theory board.
Possibly. That is to say, if there is a conspiracy board that I can or cannot confirm exists. But now we will move on. I hear the skepticism there. We will move on to one of our new favorite segments, which I now have a theme song for, or a theme jingle. And here we go. It is time for Florida or Flora Don't, where I read headlines and you guess if it's from Florida or it's not. It's simple as that.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
And if you would like further information, I can read like the first couple lines from said headline. If it's just too unbelievable, like I just don't know. I mean, we'll go. We'll just start now. In fact, we'll start with this first one. And this one I actually might want to read a little bit more just because it's that interesting, but we'll continue. Bad boy alligator removed from lagoon for hostile behavior.
That sounds about as Florida as it gets.
I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Nope. I will actually continue reading this one a little bit. A male alligator called Kanye was removed from a lagoon at a New South Wales zoo after showing hostility towards other alligators and its keepers. So this is actually from Australia. So not Florida.
Well, Did you just say Australia?
Australia, down in the outback.
But say it again though.
The headline or the first line of the article?
The continent.
Australia? Not Austria, but Australia. Am I saying it weird?
It's Australia.
That's what I said. Was that what did I say?
You said like Australia.
I was stressing out I don't know.
Yeah.
Australia. Austria?
Oh,
no, now I said Austria.
Australia.
Great. Australia.
It's the same beginning as Austria, but it is Australia.
Oh, Australia. See, now I'm second guessing how I'm saying everything.
You should.
Everything. Okay.
So sorry. Back on track.
All right. We're going to move to the next one now. Let's see. I'll do this one before it expires on me. Some of these newspapers these days want their coins too. I just want the headline. Fisherman finds. Yeah, no. Let's see. Fisherman finds weighted down gun in. Oh, the headline changed a little bit.
Cheating.
Yeah, I know.
Then it's definitely Florida just because that happened.
Well, yeah, the little bit that I was missing that I originally clicked on this particular link was it was weighted down with a brick, the gun that they fished out, or rather this guy who went fishing and he thought he was fighting a fish, but he fished out a gun that was weighted down with a brick, like a brick was tied to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Florida behavior.
Florida?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Correct. This is a Floridian story.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now this last one, because I do have 6, but I'm just gonna keep it at 3 because that's normally that's like the sweet spot there. It's 3. And this last one I had for a while. Like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yep, this is going in the category because this could be anywhere, but could it be Florida? Is it Florida or Floridone? Man goes viral for pouring coffee on people at Target in controversial prank.
I'm gonna say Floridone for that one.
Yeah, Floridone as well.
Is there any particular reason why it just feels that way? Like
it just doesn't feel like a normal, typical Floridian behavior. It seems more East Coast.
It does. It's giving me 13 colonies is what it's giving me.
Yes.
Wow.
No offense or whatever.
Yeah, no offense at all, but yeah.
I mean, don't you live in one of the 13 colonies too?
Sure.
Steph?
I believe I do. Yes. So I mean, I'm very well saying like it might be where I am. So
well, it's actually where I am. It is a Connecticut story.
See.
So I don't know why I was taking offense to it too, because like it just seemed like an East Coast thing. Like, shots fired. But yeah, that actually happened in Connecticut. So,
if it was a story about blatant or even not so overt racism, I'd automatically assume it was the South. So, we all have our things.
Right. You know what? We're going to do 4 because I forgot there was one I absolutely had to do because it is like Halloween season. So get a bonus one. Bring it. All right.
Let's do it.
A lawyer is being fined for strolling beach as Michael Myers with a bloody knife.
A lawyer is though. Ooh.
I can't say the name of the town because that'll give it away.
Well, sure.
You know what? Florida. That sounds like a Florida.
Courtney, how are you feeling?
I'm in between because I can see that being in Florida, but I could see it being like West Coast actually. I'm gonna say Florida don't. Gonna say Florida don't.
All right. Sorry, I'm just looking at the picture again of this particular one because there's a screenshot of Michael Myers here. Well, not the Michael Myers, but this particular lawyer.
His impersonator. Sure. Yeah.
Like I actually forgot that part of the headline said that he was a lawyer. I'm drawing that out. I'm sorry.
Like, why do they need to include that? I guess we need to know, but why they included that?
The thing is, this particular screenshot or the screen grab is like of the Michael Myers impersonator pointing at the person who's recording him.
Of course.
That's amazing. That's what Michael Myers would want, you know?
Yes. But Courtney, you are correct. This happened in Galveston, Texas.
I did say West Coast, but that's okay.
It's plenty west. It's west enough.
West enough.
Oh boy. But yes, that was Florida or Florida don't. And with that, we are going to take another quick break. Yeah, another quick break. We'll take another break because why not? We'll be right back to the Indue Podcast.
The Indue Podcast.
Hey, dear listeners, just a gentle reminder that you can support the Indube Network by subscribing to the Indube Patreon at patreon.com/Indube.
But hold up, Sterling. I keep hearing about this website. What is Patreon?
So glad you asked. Patreon is a membership platform where subscribers can pay, fund, or donate to creators for content. In other words, if you subscribe for a small monthly fee, you can get bonus podcasts, reviews, videos, and just awesome extra goodies from the Indube Network.
So all that extra stuff we couldn't fit in this episode they're listening to right now will be on the Patreon?
Exactly, and so much more.
Oh, really? Well, where does my money go?
Well, podcasts cost money. Microphones, conferencing software, and host websites aren't free. So every little bit that a patron chips in helps produce the content they already love and enjoy. And for your contributions, based on how much you give per month, we'll unlock more perks to be enjoyed that are created specifically for patrons.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So where do I go again?
Patreon.com/Indube. Browse around. Some posts are free. Most are $1, but you're free to do more and you will get more. And we at the Indube Network will certainly appreciate the help keeping the studio lights on.
That's for sure. And thank you to the patrons that are already supporting and enjoying all that extra bonus content. Like that one video where you did that one thing you said you wouldn't, couldn't, and shouldn't do.
Oh, I know. And I almost got killed to death trying to do it, but I did it and now it's done.
That was hilarious.
Good times.
Good times.
And welcome back to the Indue Podcast. We have Steph, who is here and just riding up a storm. I believe you probably said that last time you were here too. Just creating things. And your most recent creation, I have in my hands. I actually gave one of them away to my sister because she's such a Wonder Woman fan. So I don't know if she's read it yet. I haven't gotten any feedback. I read it. I waited until Saturday night when I was at the radio station. I just had time to kill I mean, I was working, but I just was able
Yeah.
to sit down and relax and flip through the pages and even look at the ads, because there's a lot of ads in this one that I had. But
Mhm.
feeling the print and the ink, not the ink, but the physical media. I really want to just to stress that I don't normally buy comic books, but this is Stephanie Williams we're talking about here.
The
So-
Stephanie Williams.
Exactly. Yes. Stephanie Marcellus Williams here.
Stephanie Inesha Williams.
Stephanie Inesha Williams. Thank you, Courtney Francesca Hinton. Thank you so much. Anyway, I guess first question is how did this happen? Were you picked? Did DC like come knock on your door like Mr. DC, like just like or Miss somebody? So how did they contact you? How did they get you?
Wow, okay, so I believe Vita called me or texted me, one of the two. And they were talking about DC and like writing Amazons and stuff, and would I be interested? And I'm like, well, absolutely, because this is coming. I think this is maybe a week or two before Marvel Voices Legacy had debuted. So of course I was eager to, write something else, be it for Marvel, DC, myself, another comic imprint, didn't matter. But when they asked me about writing Amazons, I was like, yeah, because why would you not want to go to Themyscira and play around in that world? So got me in contact with the editor, because they had given a copy of Living Heroes to given to the editor. And next thing I knew, I was having a conversation with the editor, I believe that week that Marvel Voices Legacy came out. So that was like really wild. And found out, I was offered like, hey, do you want to write something for Wonder Woman Black and Gold for like, it's the 80th anniversary issues, like anthology series we're putting out. And I was like, absolutely. And like, can I incorporate Nubia into my story? So I thought that, that's was about it. Like I was just going to write another anthology story, which I was perfectly fine with. But this was a lesson in dream bigger, because when I spoke to Vita again, because they had reached out and said they wanted to kind of go over my Nubia story, I just assumed that it was like they were referring to the Wonder Woman Black and Gold. So for like about an hour, we had this back and forth conversation about two very different things. They were talking about Nubian Amazons, and I was talking about my Wonder Woman Black and Gold script, because I didn't even know that Nubian Amazons was a title that had been announced already. Because I think DC had put out like a little announcement of future titles to come later in the year. I had completely missed that, because they just announced the title. So when we finally got around to talking about it, I was like,
wait, sorry to interrupt. They announced the title, but they didn't have a writer or anything yet?
They didn't have writers or artists or anything attached to it. It was just several titles that they had announced. Kind of similar, like Marvel will do this too. Well, they'll announce future titles and like they don't have the creative team. Because that's something that I learned while on this other side, is that stuff will get announced, but like people aren't attached to it yet. And they're still trying to figure that out. So I was just like, wait, what? Right, what? So the conversation went from, it quickly switched gears, and I don't know, like I just felt very ready to tell a story for Nubia and also the other Amazons on Themyscira. And that's kind of how it really came about, which feels very on brand for me. I humbly thought that I was just writing an anthology story, which I was perfectly fine with. But it never dawned on me that no, you're going to be writing a series and writing more. So again, dream bigger.
Wow. I'm so happy for you. I mean, thank
you.
I know I've said it before, even times you're not on this podcast, and we've just been hyping you up and just so excited and just counting down to the day. And And even on shout out to Megashine, because you were on their podcast a few weeks ago. I don't know. Time is a blur.
Really. I don't even know what time is, but yes.
Right. Because you're talking about
it's okay.
It truly is. Whatever time is. There is actually a podcast episode of not even podcast. I'm sorry. Again, everything is blending together. It's an episode on Netflix for Today Explained or Now Explained. I forgot how what the title of it is. Anyway, they talk about time and how
I think it's just explained, actually. Just explained. Something explained.
I think it is. Yes.
Okay.
And then depending on the episode, that's what's being explained.
Right.
So
right.
They have an episode about time being explained and how the pandemic has really shifted the way that we perceive time. And it breaks it down in such a very understandable way. I mean, of course it should be, because the show is called Explained. So of course it's going to do that. So I say all that to say that it feels like a few days ago, I listened to this particular episode, which you were on, and I was really trying hard not to ask the same questions they did, because I want you, dear listener, to go listen to that episode, and I'll try to find it and maybe link it within the show notes. I'm giving myself more work to do. Hooray for me. But anyway, it's worth it, because you just find out so much more information. So I'm trying to find other questions to ask you, Steph, so you don't, get the same questions all the time. But
oh no, it's okay. I don't mind.
Well, what I'm curious about is if there's any differences that you've found working with Marvel and DC, like if there's any difference between the two companies so far.
Honestly, not really. But that might be a little premature to say. Not that I think that it would be terrible over at Marvel or anything, but I would say no, because with Marvel, with the Legacy story, I was just asked hey, who do you want to write? And I was like, Monica Rambeau. And it was just all right, well, do your thing. And now with Nubia and the Amazons, clearly a little differently. It's hey, do you want to write this, this specific thing? And I was like, well, yeah, I absolutely do. But as far as the freedom in storytelling, that has still been there. It's just extremely supportive. The editor, Brittany, working with Vita in a co-writing situation, which has been, I want to say, perfect almost, because, to have this be my experience for my first long form, series, comic writing wise, it's just been, next to perfect, because Vita is a great mentor when it comes to writing. And a lot of it has been kind of like riding a bicycle, or learning to ride a bicycle, where I kind of feel like Vita was running alongside of me, but had the hand on the bike a little bit so I didn't fall and bust my behind. To by the time we got to issue 3, it was okay, I'm letting you go, because I've been predominantly scripting everything, and then we'll come together and collaborate for story and just kind of make sure all the pieces are where they're supposed to be, which has just been a huge help, because it's helped me plot things out, pace, and everything, because it's a lot different than trying to land a joke on a 1 page or 2 pages. This is long-term thinking, in hopes that, there will be many series to come. And all I'll say is, at the rate that you all have been supporting, it's looking very real that will happen. Or maybe it already has. I don't know. Can't say.
Well, I mean, that kind of leads up to what is next. What can you tell us? Because I know there's things under wraps, and I'm definitely wouldn't be one to break it here. However, I'm going to make this request on air. If you have some big breaking news that you kind of think of us, and
oh, just absolutely,
kind of, it's hey, I got some exclusive news. I'm going to save it for Sterling though. So, just.
No, I would absolutely do that. But I can speak to Trial of the Amazons, which is coming up. I can't get into the exact details of what that is, but I will be writing the it's a lot. So I think it's about 30 pages or so.
Oh, wow.
I'm writing 10 of those pages. And it's just more stuff that is happening. Just think of it as a continuation of Nubia and the Amazons, and how things are going from their vantage point as the trial and the events and things happen, which is fun. I'm really looking forward to that event happening because one, there hasn't been like a Wonder Woman event in that way in like 30 years. It was a long time. And it's just exciting because once everything is said and done, I hope that folks will be looking at the Amazons and Themyscira on the whole differently. And also like where either what Diana, Nubia, Hippolyta, Artemis, Yara, all of them, Cassie, like where they fit in the DCU and how important the Amazons are, period, to just the, just that universe. So that I'm looking forward to. Also, there might be some other things that you might not expect. I wish I could speak more to that, but just keep your eyes peeled for some collaborations in the very, very near future, depending on how quickly NDAs and stuff can get signed. Because as I've learned on being on this side, that a lot of red tape. And I
bet.
Yeah. So fingers crossed that those things get situated because I think, not that I'm not excited for anything else, but like I am hugely excited for this kind of being out into the world because I just would have never seen this. Again, dream bigger.
Right. Can you say who is, which is it? DC? Is it Marvel? You can't?
It is DC related.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say that it's DC related. So yeah, just be on the lookout.
I only say that because every so often I do, look at your tweets and then you'll say like, oop, I said something or not say something. I was like, you put something in the atmosphere. Then all of a sudden like, oh, that happened. I'm like, what? And it's like all cryptic. And I know you do that on purpose. And so I'm looking
get the
at
hype going. Yeah,
exactly. I'm looking at previous tweets. I'm like, okay, she talked about Monica Rambeau in that tweet. So I wonder if is it DC? What's happening? So
Sterling, do you have one of those conspiracy theory boards where it's just like Steph's face in the middle? And then you've got like, printed out versions of her tweets. And then you've got, that's the strings that like connect your ideas across the board. Do you have that in your house somewhere?
It's time to take another commercial break. I'm neither confirming nor denying.
Thank you.
My sister just bought me some whiteboards, which I was supposed to show you, Courtney. But now I'm not so sure. I think I should.
Gotcha.
So, but I keep things in mind. So I'm trying to keep a lookout for stuff, and I got my Google alerts on. So I'm like, oh, this popped up. Ooh, what's happening here? And I'm just waiting to one day watch something on TV, and then because I like to read the credits, like I think Courtney, you do it too, and I know my wife does, and I look for names. So if I know that someone is associated with a certain character or property, then I'm trying to look out for those people. I'm like, hey, I know them, and then I just get excited. It makes me happy. So I'm excited for you, Steph, and can't wait.
Thank you.
What's next?
I appreciate that. I'm excited for you all to see what's next. It's it's just I don't know what to say without giving it away. So I'll just
I know. But so just a follow-up question so we can for people who are out there, because I actually was asked by my dear aunt, she asked where they can be found, and you can find it at your local comic book store. Mine is about, I think, 15 minutes away from me. So I'm trying to be a frequent person, and I'm glad the owner actually remembered me from the last time I was there, which was to get the Legacy, Marvel's Legacy. So he remembered me from, well, he didn't remember what I got, but he just knew I was there before. I'm like, hey, I remember you. I'm like, yeah, you're still here too. So, Nubia and the Amazons comes out monthly. That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct.
Are there 6 in this particular
there are
series?
6. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm also telling that to you listeners so that they know. It was like, oh, okay,
yeah, no,
got this. So
it's important information. So yes, there are 6,
truly is.
And then a couple of tie-ins for the Trial of the Amazon. So that would be considered tie-ins to that. So, it's all connected, all related.
And should we get, because I also kind of forgot that you worked on, what is it, Wonder Woman Black and Gold? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So you have a part in that too? Because I didn't get that one. I need to go get that one then.
Yes, that was issue number 2 that I wrote something in. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, that is already out and available. Comixology, at your local store, wherever you can get it. Does not matter to me how you read it, as long as you read it.
Do you get residuals?
I do.
Okay.
So yeah, to be, go ahead and pick that up.
Copy.
Yes.
That actually makes me feel better that I bought like the variants too, because I'm a sucker for that. That helps the artist. So yes, please do. Yes. That. I also look at all the names in like the written things too. Like, ooh, it looks very diverse. Like I'm not seeing just a whole bunch of looks like males writing, so, or penciling, coloring. So I loved all of that. And I do have a question though. One more, like business wise, is it better to buy them as they come out, or should I wait for an omnibus? Am I saying it right?
No, I mean, yeah, trade paperback, omnibus, very similar, but as much as I want to tell you that it's great to go ahead and rate for the trade paperback, unfortunately, because just the floppies or single issues, as folks call them, that is kind of what the metrics that they look at. So it is important to get it monthly, but that is an argument for another day. Because personally, just as an avid comic reader, I usually wait until the trade is out. But if it's something that I know like the numbers need to be up, then I'll go ahead and just, get it monthly. But again, no harm, no foul if you wait for the collection, because that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's what I like to do, honestly, because it's just I can just keep going. I don't have to wait, because right now I have to wait. I have to wait a whole month. So
I know, and waiting sucks.
It does. And I remember when I first started watching Lost way back when I think I caught up by like season 5, and then I had to wait I have to wait a whole week for the next episode. What nonsense is this? So now it's a comic and I have to wait a whole month. Oh,
the ghetto.
Yes, the ghetto. But I feel this is unless you have any additional questions, because I've got all the information I need to know that she's willing to tell me. But
well, I do have just kind of and I'm sure this is one of the questions you probably get a lot, so I apologize in advance. But what would you say? So it's a 2-parter. What would you say to those who are, I guess, like you said, you're on that side, meaning you've kind of not made it, but you're seeing your dreams being fulfilled and you're living it out. What would you say to those who are not yet where you are in their own journeys? So that's question number 1. Like, what would you say to encourage them to keep going or whatnot? And also, what would you say to yourself when you were like pre-living the dream?
Ooh, okay.
And if they're one and the same, that's fine.
Yeah, well, they kind of are, and I hate it because it's gonna sound very cliche and just capitalism, pandemic, all of that sort of aside, to keep going, because you deserve to be happy in the things that you do, whatever it is. There is no dream that is too small. So whatever it is that you do and want to do, just do it with intent, because it's nothing worse than doing something just to kind of pass the time, but it not necessarily being something that your heart is fully in. I've fallen into that before myself, where just because I'm, good at it doesn't necessarily mean that my heart's in it or it actually brings me joy. And then getting more opportunities with that thing when I really should have been putting my focus in the thing that I actually wanted to do. Because and I would tell myself, my younger self, or myself when I was in the midst of this, and I still kind of feel like I'm in the midst of it, to keep doing, don't change anything, because there is no one way to get to the destination. And even once you arrive there, you're looking forward to the next stop. So maybe on those days where I really felt like I just wanted to throw in the tile, as Tyrese said, to just kind of be there as a hand in comfort, because there is no way to kind of avoid that. It's just a part of the process, but to trust the process and know that whatever it is that you want to do, that is going to mean something to someone. Like, you're going to be that light for someone. You honestly, you never know. So stay encouraged. And I know that is way easier said than done, but just remember, like, whatever it is that you're doing, do it with intent and do it for you.
Thank you for coming to Stephanie's TED Talk.
TED Talk, right. Thank you for that, though.
Please leave your coins in the basket.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for asking that.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break. So stay tuned. I'm saying stay tuned. Like, why would you turn off a podcast like right now? But stay where you are, and we'll be right back.
The Indu Podcast.
Hey there, friend. Enjoying this podcast production? I bet your sweet buttery face you are. I bet you're also thinking, how can I support this show and look awesome doing it? Aside from telling your best pal and all their kin, you can head over to Indoob.com, and 2 clicks later, after hitting the store tab, you'll find yourself with several fun and fancy swag brought to you by the fine folks at the Indoob Network and TeePublic. If you're a fan of Indoob, Food Fight, or anything under the Indoobian sun, you can find it plastered on mugs, hoodies, pillows, cases, bags, and of course, t-shirts. Hurry on over now, and you may catch a sale with all tees 30% off. Seriously, they have sales like every other week. So head on over to Indoob.com or teepublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com, and type Indoob in the search bar and continue to pod with the best. And welcome back. It's time to wrap up the show. We've had such a great time here at the Indoob Podcast. And now it's actually time just to have a moment of gratitude and just, be thankful and grateful for the things that whatever might have happened today, this past week, from the last episode, or even from the last time that Stephanie was here. So I guess I'll go first because I kind of already have mine written out, unlike last time where I completely drew a blank and I don't know what I'm grateful for. But but I actually will say that I'm grateful for the ease of returning things to Amazon by way of using Kohl's. You can just go to Kohl's and just drop things off. Yes, it is painless. Like, as long as you have like that the QR code like on your phone, like, because you don't have to print anything out. And you just bring the thing. They have a bag, like, here, put it in the bag. They print out a label. They just stick it on the bag. Like, none of that is important for you, but just so you can, get it back, and then you get your refund or whatever. And because I have something I need to return like sometime this week. And I mean, they give you several months to do it, but I try to get it just out of the way and done. But yeah, I mean, I'm just so grateful for that. Like, thank you for making it so easy. Because like, I don't want to be stuck with this product that I can't use or don't want or don't need, rather. I forget what the first thing was I returned. I'm returning some LED lights I am not grateful for, because you're supposed to stick on the things that I put you on. Why aren't you sticking?
Yeah. So, that's part of their like charm, I think.
Right.
And if they don't do that,
Right. I have a desk that I call at my lab. I'm calling it the lab, and it's where I'm set up at the church, where I think I did post a picture before, but I decided to change the lights that are there. I needed more. And I'm the lights weren't sticking. I ordered another strip and it just was not sticking. I was upset about it. So I took them down. It was very frustrating. And now I'm going to send them back, but I still can't remember the first thing that I sent back. Oh, they were lights. There were other lights, but they were the wrong kinds. I needed sensor lights. These are remote control operated. Like, not the same. So, but it was very easy. So I was very happy with that. So thank you, Amazon and Kohl's, just to make that just the only issue I had was trying to find the return area within the store. And it was a very big store. And I'm like, is it over here? There's a customer service? Nope, no. Pointing me over there. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but found it. So yeah. Steph, what are you grateful for?
Well, very obviously, just the support that everyone has shown of me and Nubia and the Amazon. So I'm just so very grateful to all of you because book couldn't be great if it wasn't for the support. So I just want to say I'm very thankful and grateful.
Kind. Courtney, what are you grateful for?
I would say I am grateful for my mommy. I got a chance to, I talk to her often and, we have a good relationship, but I don't always get a chance to just hang with her. And so I got a chance to do that this weekend and, just kind of reminded me like, oh, I miss you. It's just, you're pretty awesome. So it just, we both like love plants. So, and she's definitely an enabler for my plant addiction. So, I bought like 2 plants in 2 days, whatever. So, we just had it really doesn't matter what we do, but it was even better to do things that we both like. And, she helped me finish a project that I started like a year ago, which is like cleaning out my garage and making it more usable. And one of the bigger parts of that project was to take some stuff to Goodwill. And so she's like, oh, okay, well, here I come. I mean, I didn't have to ask her or whatever. And that's just the type of person she is. But I don't know. We just had a good time, just store hopping and window shopping and real shopping and just hanging out. So that was very invigorating and just much needed. I didn't realize how much I needed it until I got it 2 days in a row. So that was awesome. Yay. So I'm grateful for my mommy.
That's awesome. I kind of wish you guys lived closer too, because we need some plants or more plants. We have a whole hey,
I got you.
I mean, we've got it. I got one of those things that you put the plants in, like the stand, and there's no plants in it. It's just there. So.
Oh, it's so lonely. It needs some friends.
It does, and specifically like the pots that fit in them, so that way it can actually serve a purpose rather than just standing in the living room, just being there. So yeah, need plants.
Well, hey, I started with little ones too. We all have to start the journey where we started.
We do.
There.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I'll send updates to you, and in fact, it birthed an idea, so I'll come back to it.
Yes.
But right now we're going to do recommendations, and we'll start again with you, Courtney. What you may want to recommend to people, watch, listen, read, whatever. What you got?
So a show I just started watching, which I think I've been avoiding for many years because I'm just like, oh, this looks terrible. But I was bored and watched it, and now I'm invested. So it's called Selling Sunset on Netflix, and it is about really rich people selling houses to other really rich people. And I hate it on the outside, but it's actually a very interesting watch. And because I currently work in real estate, that's kind of the draw for me, is just to see how honestly, just research to see how they do it. In California, whole different environment, whole different everything. And, there's a lot of similarities. Of course, there's a lot of differences, but it's just interesting to watch it from that point of view. But also it's an interesting show because it's just messy and It's like trash TV, and that's kind of what I need right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you're interested in looking at the glitz and the glam of you know, Hollywood elites and seeing how much properties can actually sell for, try Selling Sunset on Netflix.
Okay. I mean, that's exactly what it feels like. It's just kind of just almost escapism, but comfort TV, but just trash, basically.
Yeah.
Just something you don't really have
All
to
of
think
that.
about.
It's
Mhm.
perfect.
Right.
Love
right. And Steph, what would you recommend to
Ooh.
consume?
Ooh, I have a comic recommendation that is not Nubia and the Amazons. It is Layla. It is the many deaths of Layla Starr. I know it sounds a little morbid, but I promise you it kind of is. However, but it's very beautiful. It's by Ram V. I'm blanking on the artist's last name, but his first name is Felipe. The art is beautiful. The writing is equally as beautiful. It's bittersweet, but maybe more sweet than bitter. It's a timely read. So if you haven't already, check that out. All 5 issues are out, and I think the trade paperback might be. No, I'm lying. The trade paperback doesn't come out until January. So if you want to wait till then, totally understand. But yeah, it's available to read now. So go check it out.
And it's fine. We started on a morbid note with, you know, just the random bit of spookums that I found. So it's all good. just I don't know, many deaths and ghosts and ghoulies all around because 'tis the season, right? My recommendation, obviously, of course, would be Nubia and the Amazons, but also 2 documentaries, but they're on 2 separate streaming platforms. One of them I had actually watched maybe a month or so ago. It's called The Last Blockbuster. It's very nostalgia ridden. That is found, I believe, on Netflix. And then what I most recently watched, and this actually came out a couple years ago, but I just watched it last week, is The Orange Years. And it's a documentary all about Nickelodeon.
Oh, yes.
So I feel this is a great double feature if you're in the mood for some documentaries that are actually that will definitely bring that nostalgia feeling home very strong, especially if you grew up in the late 80s, all throughout the 90s, early aughts. Oh, I hate that I said it, but that is the time period. Yeah, definitely check those out. I definitely know the Orange Years is kid friendly. I don't remember if the Blockbuster one is. I'm just saying if you wanted to watch it with your family and something fun, safe, at least the Orange Years is, because go down that memory road. It's great. Like they're both worth watching again. I would watch them again because it's like just relive the good times. Yes, the real before times. Yes,
the real before times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Steph, do you have any plugs? Anything you want people to, other than, again, Nubia and the Amazons, but anywhere if they can find you or find anything you want them to find or be found?
Yes. So, if you are not already, I have a TikTok. I don't think I had one at the time that we spoke, so I made my way to TikTok because my days on Twitter are probably numbered. So you can find me under the same ad over on TikTok. It's okay. I've been looking to kind of move on. It has kind of move on from the platform, but still doing the same thing over on TikTok. So if you are on the apps,
TikTok is awesome.
Thank you. So that's at Steph_I_Will. So go ahead and head over there and just either visit my website, wifesteph.com, or check out the Twitter while still exists for more new and upcoming exciting things.
So will you be the TikTok terrorist then?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
That doesn't change. Yeah.
Oh, right. Because if you're not going to be a Twitter terrorist, then TikTok terrorist. Fantastic. Courtney, where can people find you? Should you want to be found?
Sometimes I wish not to be found, wish not to be perceived. Today I'm feeling quite perceivable. And if you are also inclined to perceive me, you can find me on the Twitters at I am K Hinton.
Okay. I'm sorry. It just I felt like there was like
something.
No, it was just the way that you said it. It just felt like there was like a comma and not a period in my head. So I'm like, okay. But yes, thank you.
I made a decision. It was a last minute decision, and I guess it didn't land. Whoops.
You had us with bated breath. Like, it's like, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That was
it.
That was a pregnant period. Not a pregnant pause, but a pregnant period.
It's a pregnant period. Mm-hmm. Well, see, I keep you guessing.
You certainly did, because I'm like, what else is coming? Where else can we find her? And I will say that I don't want to say I've gone back to Facebook, but since there is an audience there that has not really been tapped that much, especially with the new podcast, the Love Blurds podcast, you can go over to facebook.com/loveblurds, LOVEBLERDS. And you can find pretty much all the things that Ashley and I are doing over there, especially the Love Blurds podcast, which is on Spotify and Anchor, pretty much all the places where it can be found. By the way, the Indu podcast was mysteriously missing from Apple Podcasts, but it's back on there now. I had gone through and checked everything. Everything was working fine again. However, it's possible that Indu might be moving over to Anchor. Maybe. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to do that. It's inside baseball reasons why, but it's possible. So hopefully nothing should change for you, dear listener, trying to find the podcast. So it should hopefully still work the same if I ever do that. But definitely do check out that Facebook page, like it, follow it. Make sure you listen to the Love Blurds podcast so you can find out more stuff, more stories. And I did use the other title that would have been the title of our last Indube episode. It's Penis Time. So yes, that is episode 5 of the Love Blurds. To find out why, you have to listen and find out. Then you also get to hear what happened during our honeymoon and why Bob's Burgers plays such a huge role in our relationship. So that's a tease for you all. But follow me on all things at Indube. Go to Indube.com. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. Please wash your legs, your face, the bottom of your feet, the undersides of your dishes. Get vaccinated. Get your boosters. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Get your boosters. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
Oh my God. Hold on to the cliff.
Thanks for listening to the Indube podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indube network. Want more Indube? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indube and on Facebook at IndubePod. You can contact us and send Ask Indube questions by emailing indubepod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the TeePublic Store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indube network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit Indube.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production.